Raul Malo, the longtime vocalist and frontman of the Mavericks, continues to be remembered with deep emotion following his death on December 8, 2025, at the age of 60. In recent days, attention has turned to the final public moments, performances, and messages associated with him as fans revisit videos and recordings that now carry new emotional weight. While there is no single officially labeled last video, many of Raul Malo's recent appearances and shared moments have become especially moving for listeners around the world. Raul Malo passed away after a long and courageous battle with stage 4 cancer and leptomeningeal disease. His family confirmed that he spent his final days surrounded by love. The announcement of his death prompted an immediate and widespread response across the music industry and among fans who had followed his career for decades. Following the news, fans began revisiting recent live performance clips, interviews, and informal videos shared online in the months and years before his passing. These moments, once viewed simply as performances or conversations, are now being seen as some of his last emotional expressions. Many fans describe watching these videos as overwhelming, not because of sadness alone, but because of the honesty and presence Raul brought to everything he did. In several widely shared clips from live shows, Raul Malo can be seen performing with the same emotional depth that defined his career. His voice remained strong, expressive, and deeply connected to the lyrics. Fans have noted that even when he appeared physically tired, his delivery never lost sincerity. Listeners say that watching him sing now feels different, as if each note carries added meaning. One performance in particular, recorded by a fan and later circulated online, shows Raul standing calmly on stage, pausing briefly before beginning a song. There is no dramatic speech, no announcement, just a quiet moment of focus. Fans say that moment alone has brought them to tears, because it reflects his dedication to the music rather than to spectacle. Other clips show Raul interacting with audiences in simple ways. A smile, a brief thank you, or a nod toward the crowd. These moments are being shared widely because they capture his character. Fans frequently describe him as approachable, grounded, and genuine, even after years of success. In addition to live performances, short interview segments from recent years have also resurfaced. In these conversations, Raul spoke about music as a form of connection rather than achievement. He often emphasized that songs exist to help people feel understood. After his death, many listeners have said that these words feel like a personal message, even though they were spoken long before his illness became public knowledge. Raul Malo rarely spoke publicly about his health. He and his family chose to keep his illness private, sharing details only with close friends. As a result, many fans were unaware of how serious his condition was until his passing was announced. This has added to the emotional impact of watching recent videos, as people now realize how much strength it took for him to continue performing and engaging with others. Several musicians who worked with Raul have shared their reactions to these final clips. They have described watching him sing and speak during that period as deeply moving. Many have said that Raul never allowed illness to define him publicly. Instead, he focused on music, family, and the relationships that mattered most to him. Fans have also pointed to moments where Raul spoke about gratitude. In a short message shared through family channels, he thanked listeners for supporting his music over the years. The message was brief and direct, but fans say it felt sincere and heartfelt. After his death, that message has been shared thousands of times, with many calling it one of the most emotional things he ever said. Social media platforms quickly filled with reactions from listeners who said they could not watch these videos without crying. Many explained that the emotion did not come from sadness alone, but from realizing how much Raul Malo had given through his voice. His ability to communicate feeling through music made people feel seen, and revisiting those moments now feels personal to many. Raul Malo's emotional impact has always been central to his artistry. From the earliest days of the Mavericks, his voice stood out for its warmth and expressive range. He was known for delivering lyrics in a way that felt lived in rather than performed. Fans often said that he did not sing songs, he told stories. As listeners revisit recordings from his later years, that storytelling quality feels even more pronounced. Songs about love, loss, longing, and resilience now reflect not just fictional narratives, but the reality of a man who faced his own challenges with dignity. Many fans say that hearing these songs now brings tears because they feel closer to the truth behind the voice. Younger listeners, some discovering Raul Malo for the first time, have also been drawn to these clips. They describe feeling surprised by how immediate his emotional delivery feels, even without knowing his full history. This response highlights the lasting power of his voice, which continues to resonate across generations. Radio stations across the United States and beyond have responded by replaying recordings from different stages of Raul's career. DJs have spoken about how difficult it is to listen to certain performances without feeling emotional. Some stations have dedicated entire segments to playing his music without commentary, allowing listeners to process their feelings through sound alone. Streaming platforms have reported a noticeable increase in plays of the Mavericks catalog and Raul Malo's solo work. Fans are creating playlists titled with words like remembrance, gratitude, and farewell. These playlists often include live recordings, acoustic versions, and softer performances that highlight the emotional side of his voice. Those close to Raul have emphasized that he would not have wanted to be remembered with sadness alone. Friends and collaborators describe him as someone who valued joy, connection, and creativity. They say that while the videos and recordings may bring tears, they also reflect a life lived with purpose. In conversations following his death, fellow musicians have said that Raul's emotional honesty set a standard. He did not hide behind technique or image. He allowed vulnerability into his performances, which is why his music continues to feel relevant and personal. There has been no confirmation of a specific final recording made with the intention of saying goodbye. Instead, what exists is a collection of real moments, performances, interviews, and interactions that were never meant to be final statements but now serve as reminders of who Raul Malo was. This has led many fans to say that the idea of a last emotional video is not about a single clip. It is about recognizing that every moment he shared was sincere. When people say these videos make them cry, they are responding to that sincerity rather than to any dramatic farewell. Raul Malo's wife and family have not released additional footage or messages beyond the initial announcement of his passing. They have requested privacy, and that request has been widely respected. Fans have instead turned to what is already available, finding comfort in familiar performances and words. As time passes, these videos and recordings are likely to continue circulating. They will be shared not as sensational content, but as expressions of respect. Each clip represents a part of Raul Malo's journey, and together they form a record of a life devoted to music. The emotional response to these moments reflects the depth of his connection with listeners. Raul Malo was not just admired as a singer, he was trusted as a storyteller. People felt that he understood emotions they could not always put into words. That trust is why watching him sing now feels so powerful. It is why listeners describe feeling tears well up without knowing exactly why. It is why his final public moments, however ordinary they seemed at the time, now feel extraordinary. Raul Malo's legacy will not be defined by a single video or performance. It will be defined by consistency, by decades of honest music, by a voice that never lost its warmth, by moments that continue to move people long after the sound has faded. As fans continue to watch, listen, and remember, these emotional moments serve as a reminder of what true artistry looks like. Not perfection, but presence. Not spectacle, but connection. Raul Malo gave that to his audience until the end, and that is why his final shared moments continue to bring tears, comfort, and gratitude all at once.